I would say it'd be the opportunity to really launch your wings and be able to take advantage of anything that you possibly would want to try is available to you. And if you have a passion for something and it doesn't exist at the school, then they'll work with you. And whether that's something entrepreneurial or if it's something athletically or something artistically. So they really have this mindset of being able to celebrate the unique gifts of every child and allow them to explore that and learn it about themselves.
Hi, my name is Danielle and I'm from Our Kids. I just spoke with Sarah, the parent of a child who is currently attending Kingsway College School, a co-ed private independent school located in downtown Toronto. Keep watching to learn about Sarah's experience with parent involvement, extracurriculars, her child's academics, in addition to her explaining what the school's values are in actual practice. Can you tell me a little bit more about Jake? What are his likes and dislikes?
Jake is a very fascinating little guy. He's a passion of all things sports, but he also likes to sing and play the guitar. And he is huge into gaming, basketball, and I would say pretty much any sport out there.
And what kind of learner is Jake?
I would describe him as a really conscientious student. He's really passionate about school. He's very introspective, analytical, but also likes to engage and collaborate in conversations with his teacher and his classmates.
And can you tell me a bit about the process that you took to choose Kingsway College School? What drew you to this school and why did you choose it over other potential options?
Yeah, of course. So we were looking for an environment that celebrates really unique strengths and challenges of our children. And KCS is the school that I wish every child could attend. If I were to draw an image in my mind of what an ideal environment would look like, from the neighborhood and treat setting to the caring and nurturing faculty and staff, and to the ongoing commitment to challenging my child to be the very best version of themselves, it would be KCS. We also were really drawn to their student to teacher ratio to ensure a tailored and challenging learning environment. And we love the fact that KCS puts into practice what they teach, their commitment to lifelong learning. I know that faculty tenure at the school is very strong, and all of the faculty continue to work to research and learn the latest pedagogy and how that can be applied within the classroom.
And can you explain what the application process was like?
Yes, so with KCS, they strongly encourage you to come into the school to actually be able to see the campus, to meet and interact with teachers, and to see classrooms in action. And that was part of our experience. I get with today in our world of COVID, that's not a possibility at the moment, but it's definitely something when the doors can open again, I strongly encourage, and it was part of our experience. We also did an assessment with the admissions team so they could understand and learn more about our child and make sure that they were a right fit for the school. And then providing the requisite information from our son's nursery school experience in terms of report cards and feedback from teachers.
And in regards to why you chose the school for Jake specifically, were there any traits that Jake had wanted to improve on or that you had wanted Jake to explore that you felt exposure to this school would help him with?
I really liked the idea of Jake taking responsible risks and learning more about himself. And that's something that is really threaded into the philosophy of the school, is being able to try new things that you might otherwise feel uncomfortable doing. But at KCS, you're really celebrated for taking those risks and venturing in something new and knowing that whatever the outcome is, you'll be supported and you'll learn from that. So that was really important to us, and it's been exciting to see how he's grown from a student in JK to where he is now in grade 8.
Why did you feel that the school community celebrated students in taking risks? How did that come across to the parents?
So I would say it's everything both in the classroom and outside the classroom. So It's learning more about what he's passionate about. So finding about more about my child and having Jake learn about himself by embracing new opportunities, questioning the way he may have done things in the past, and trying out new things that he might not otherwise, because the opportunity presents itself, and the students are strongly encouraged to take advantage of all facets of the school, whether it's academically, artistically, athletically, or in being a good citizen of the world.
And how did Jake respond to being a student at the school? What was his experience like?
He's loved being a student at KCS. He's really enjoyed every facet of his time so far. He's really blossomed and taken on new opportunities. I think the biggest thing that he's enjoyed is the lifelong friendships that he's learned, but also a different approach to learning and taking on different projects and different opportunities.
Did you feel like the faculty was able to help him succeed with his individual learning styles through the school?
Absolutely. The school is really dedicated to providing a tailored learning approach and supporting students one-on-one. As I think I had mentioned earlier, they have a really great student to teacher ratio. The average class size is 16 to 21 students, so it really presents an opportunity to collaborate both with the home form teacher as well as the subject-based teachers.
And how did you respond to those class sizes? Did you think that you would have preferred more or less students, or did you think that it responded well to Jake's needs?
I liked the idea of the sizes of the classrooms with only being up to 20 students. It really gives an opportunity for each student to participate actively in class and also to do student-led learning. So there's many opportunities where Jake's able to take on a leadership role within the classroom and also in collaboration with teachers, and whether that's formally academically or informally through their extracurriculars and clubs. I think the class size bodes very well, and being able to also nurture any challenges he's had, but also give opportunity to explore new challenge and growth opportunities that might not otherwise be there in a classroom of a larger size.
Would you be able to speak a bit more about what kind of extracurricular opportunities they had available?
Yeah, so KCS has over 40 extracurricular and athletic clubs, both formally and informally. So they're part of the Private School Athletic Association and CISSA. And so there's ample opportunity whether you're doing formal basketball or track and field. But then there's also a lot of clubs like Taekwondo, the chess club, art and action. And so regardless of your passions or whether they're known or unknown, there's lots of opportunity to explore them at KCS.
And you mentioned that Jake was a very sporty and athletic child. So did you feel like he had lots of opportunities to choose from in terms of sports extracurricular activities?
Yes, absolutely. They've got a whole host of athletics throughout the school year that allowed him to participate with his classmates, and they also have different extracurricular clubs too that are athletic based that may not necessarily be part of the formal PSSA or CISSA.
Now, for my next question, I'm curious to know, it's hard to pinpoint growth and development and attribute it to specific things, but it can be done. So do you think that as a result of attending KCS, you've seen an enhancement in Jake's personal growth?
Most definitely. I think one of the big things that the school focuses on is respect, manners, and try your best. And that's sort of the foundation that they impart in every child. And it's been really exciting to see how he's grown over the years in both confidence of self and also in his contributions to and within his classroom, but also into the greater community. And a lot of who he has grown as a person and is attributed to the nurturing and care that he's received at KCS.
And I'm also wondering, from your perspective as a parent, since you got to experience your child being in the school firsthand, what do you think the school's values are in actual practice? What do they actually implement?
I think the big values of KCS, as I mentioned earlier, is respect, manners, and try your best. And it's embedded in every aspect of the school, whether in the classroom, on the stage, during a musical, or in the athletic field. And there's also a really strong sense of being a good human being. One of my favorite sort of quotes and mantras from Derek Logan, who's the head of the school, and it really resonated with myself and my husband. And he says it's really important to be smart and to be a good student, but it's even more important to be a kind human being. And so that philosophy that the world needs more good people is something that is nurtured into every child each day at the school.
And if you can name one thing that you think Jake likes the most about his experience at the school, what do you think it would be?
I would say it'd be the opportunity to really launch your wings and be able to take advantage of anything that you possibly would want to try is available to you. And if you have a passion for something and it doesn't exist at the school, then they'll work with you. And whether that's something entrepreneurial or if it's something athletically or something artistically. So they really have this mindset of being able to celebrate the unique gifts of every child and allow them to explore that and learn it about themselves. And I think Jake would say that too, that having the chance to understand a bit more who he is and his place in the world and how he can be the best version of himself.
Was there anything at the school that you noticed that maybe Jake had been a part of that you were specifically proud of? Something that the school provided him a platform, whether that was an assignment or an extracurricular, that you can comment on and share your experience?
Um, Gosh, there's so many. It'd be hard to really to pinpoint. But I think one thing that he really enjoyed was public speaking. And so having an opportunity to do formal public speaking in one of his language arts classes and helping to develop that confidence and that skill set of preparing various iterations of that presentation, getting feedback from his teacher, acting on that feedback, and then having the confidence to see him take that content and present it and be convincing in his arguments. At KCS, you have a formal introduction to public speaking in grade 5, and just seeing the quick growth of him from grade 5 to the end of grade 7, where they had another opportunity to do a formal public speaking assignment, I think that would be a piece that Jake would say he was really proud of.
Is there anything that you found surprising about embarking on this private school experience at KCS? Maybe something that you weren't expecting?
I think the community, both within the school and the larger parent community, is something that has been really phenomenal for us as a family. The school has been an incredible anchor, both for our children who've developed lifelong friendships, as well as our family who have a whole network of fantastic people that we've gotten to know over the years, both children, parents alike, as well as faculty. And that's something that's been really, really wonderful for our family.
Would you be able to describe the relationships between parents and parents? Do the values between families align?
Absolutely. I think every parent wants the best for their child. Every parent wants to see their child learn from experience through success and failure. And there's also this shared community that we're all on this journey together, and we're all supporting each other and our children to be able to nurture them into the human beings that we want them to become.
And are there opportunities for parent involvement at KCS?
There's absolutely a wealth of opportunity for a parent, whether they want to contribute just a few hours of volunteer time to dedicating number of hours over the course of a month. Last year, our parent network contributed over 4,500 hours to the school. And whether that's everything from being a volunteer at the annual Terry Fox Run to sewing costumes for the school musical to more formal involvement with our parent network and with our school board.
And what is the sense of community like between students and students?
Fantastic. The students have a really special bond with one another. There's a lot of opportunity for collaboration and working because of the classroom sizes. There's typically 2 classes per grade with, as I mentioned earlier, up to 20 students. And there's a lot of opportunity for these students to connect both formally in the classroom and outside the classroom through the number of extracurricular and sports that I had mentioned.
And can you explain a little bit more about the relationship between parents and teachers? Did you feel like there was an open door policy and that they facilitated communication with the families?
Absolutely. There's a really strong communication between faculty and parents, and also even with staff, in terms of making sure that students are supported. There's a lot of informal dialogue that happens, whether it's just a phone call or an email, and obviously formally during evaluation periods and progress and report cards. There's always an opportunity to connect and to address concerns, to celebrate successes, and to be able to share what's going on at home and what's going on in the classroom to make sure that the child is positioned most for success.
Now, we've talked a lot about such wonderful things about the school, and it seems like you've had such a positive experience, which is fantastic. But I know that no school is perfect, so I'm curious to ask you, if you were to name a weakness, if any, what do you think a weakness would be of the school?
Well, I think every school is a certain fit for a specific child, and I know that KCS really works hard to be a fit for many students who want an opportunity to have a really well-rounded education. It is a neighborhood school, and by virtue of its location, its campus is a smaller size than others, but that is something that's never really held back the school in terms of the opportunity to partake and enjoy a number of different areas of a traditional grade school experience. But that would be the only thing that I would cite, is that I guess perhaps a weakness, but also it's a good thing because of the population of the students. It's a 400 student body, but the campus reflects that as well, that it's a smaller sized campus.
And if a parent is considering sending their child to the school, and you mentioned just considering whether or not their child would be a good fit for the school, what recommendations would you give them? Perhaps one of them would be visiting the school or talking to alumni. Could you maybe speak about what you would recommend?
I would absolutely recommend seeing the school. I think that having an opportunity to step inside the doors of the school and feel the energy of it firsthand, you can begin to see what makes it special. So many families who've joined the school have told me that they knew within that first visit that it was the place for their child, and hopefully we'll be able to return to those in-person visits very soon. There's definitely a wealth of resources on the school website that's able to showcase all the attributes of the school, and also connecting with another parent who's had an opportunity to have their child go there is a great way to learn more firsthand their experience, the same way you and I are talking today.
Is there anything based on your experience as a parent that you feel I haven't mentioned yet in this interview that you would like to shed light on to other parents about KCS?
Um, Absolutely. I could go on and on. I'm a huge, passionate advocate for the school. I think, the big thing is understanding that the school is centered around four key pillars. They're academics, athletics, um, arts, and citizenship. And there's a number, all of the kind of elements of the school are modeled off of these four pillars. And it's really an amazing environment for children to be nurtured and to grow and to experience that great JK to grade 8 journey.
And do you and Jake and your husband feel like Jake is adequately prepared to take on high school as a result of attending KCS?
Absolutely. Yes, he is extremely well prepared, and it's great to see how he's grown over the years, and I have every confidence that he is armed with everything he needs to have success in high school and beyond.
And before we wind down and I ask you my last couple questions, would you be able to say whether or not you recommend KCS to parents, and just speak a little bit more about why you would recommend this school or not?
I would absolutely recommend KCS for a number of different reasons, but fundamentally, the enriched academics, the opportunity for extensive athletic and artistic options, and the focus on on social responsibility and being a good human citizen is something that's really drew us to the school, and something that I would recommend highly for other parents.
Before the interview, you expressed with me that you have another child who attended KCS as well. So do you feel like they had a similar experience to Jake?
Yes, our elder son also enjoyed his whole experience at KCS, and he was there from grade 1 to 8, and has cited, now that he's in grade 10, how well prepared he was for high school based on his time at KCS.
What did he personally appreciate the most about the school?
The opportunity to meet lifelong friends, the opportunity to be challenged in his learning and to learn more about himself and who he is and how he wants to share what he's learned with the world, and where obviously too where he wants to start to pursue his post-secondary education. All of that has been developed with the foundational learning that he acquired at KCS.
Have you, as a parent, noticed continuous growth and development through KCS from the time that your eldest son attended until the time that Jake is enrolled in school?
Absolutely. The school makes a really strong commitment to impart that philosophy of being a lifelong learner, but it's also embedded in the mindset of faculty and staff, where they continue to understand the latest research and trends, both nationally and internationally. Education is rapidly changing, and the latest pandemic with COVID is really reinforcing that there's different models and there's different ways of learning. And KCS continues to explore and to look at what is going to be the best setup and environment for students, whether it's virtual, whether it's on premise, on campus, or a combination of the two. But also knowing that children today are exposed to so much more information and they know so much more at a younger age, and they're very aware of that, and they really have a strong focus academically to share that new knowledge with their students and to embed it in part of their curriculum.
And for my last question, I'm curious to know that if you were to pick up the phone and call your past self before embarking on this entire experience, what would you tell yourself?
I would say that this is absolutely the right fit for your children, and that your children are going to have a magical, impactful experience, and that you need to jump in with 2 feet and enjoy every part of the journey because it's going to be incredible.